I was trying to get a housing in New Zealand flat, and I'm told I am not entitled to one because I'm on an income and I've got accommodation, which is a grotty boarding house. My income's a pension, and I'm not allowed one. A couple of years I've been trying. I'm going back one more time. I've been to Parliament. I got kicked out of Parliament by security guards.
So where are you living now?
In a shitty boarding house.
You do some beautiful art, doing your carving. Does that keep you?
That keeps something to do.
I was waiting for something for 3 years.
9 hours waiting for my old man. Yeah, and he didn't show up until 9 hours later, and he just drove straight past me. I waited for nothing.
Oh gosh. What is the longest I've ever had to wait for something? Been waiting to get married, really. I'm still not married. It seems to be taking a long time. There was an expectation of marriage growing up, but that hasn't happened.
I expected to be in love with the partner of my dreams by the age of 30. Had that planned out and have children at the age of 35. I turned 37 this year. I'm quite angry about that. Not for any real reason, but just because I have to wait for something that I ultimately want.
45 minutes.
5 years.
Do you mind sharing what it is you're waiting for?
I know what it is.
Beautiful. Do I take it that is with this beautiful gentleman here?
Yes, this guy.
I'm currently waiting for my birthday in 3 weeks' time.
I'm not waiting for anything, I just try to live the present.
Oh, just my life to turn around, where I actually have something to do with my life, and I'm not just wasting time. Whereas I feel I have more time than I know what to do with, and that's the problem. But before all my time was used up in doing something, and now I've just got more time. I've got time to boot.
Life to just change, I suppose. Every day's a waiting game, mate.
What I'm waiting for is world peace and fairness, equity for everyone.
Culture, my work culture as well as wider culture to sort of change and catch up where I think it should be.
I'm waiting to be a bit older and a bit wiser.
Waited a long time to get wise, and I'm still waiting for it.
About 6 years now, so we can buy a house.
To be honest, I'm actually waiting for my bride to be. That's the one person I'm waiting for. Maybe she's still out there, I don't know where, but hopefully I do find her.
I'm waiting for someone to appear in my life that is meant to be in my life, but isn't yet.
I'm waiting for good progressive political change.
Approximately 20 plus years for the emergence of a true free social network.
I want to be famous as a recording and musical artist.
I've had to wait about 4 hours once. It's pretty cool. I was standing in line to go to the bank, you know. That's back home, Papua, so it's quite a long way. It's only one bank in the whole town, so you have to go early to wait for the line.
First off is 9 months for the birth of the baby, then perhaps 3 weeks for an appointment at the hospital, and then perhaps 24 hours at an airport when flights were closed.
25.5 years, and I'm still waiting for it to happen.
The longest is all I have to wait is 15 minutes, but past that all I can wait for 100 minutes, but I don't think so, but I love to wait.
2 years.
I'm waiting already for 26 years.
I would say it would actually be 24 years to really feel comfortable in my own skin.
I've been waiting a long time for to feel comfortable in myself, and yeah, waiting for just to feel like I've achieved what I want to achieve.
Probably stuck in traffic coming from leaving Wellington going to Porirua.
How long was that, do you reckon?
No, a good hour and a half.
Good daddy.
I'm waiting for Daddy.
Waiting for traffic lights seems like ages, but I suppose it's not really that long.
About 3 months. No, actually, longer. I've waited a long time for a lot of things.
All my life.
8 hours. 3 hours?
5 months.
Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, a late birthday present.
I think I'm going to go with all my life.
12 years. It's 35 years to meet my current girlfriend.
I was waiting so long I lost track.
Well, I had to wait 3 months to get my master thesis marked and corrected by my professor. I think that's the longest thing that I experienced as a waiting time.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I have been waiting for her for about 15 years. And of course I had to find the perfect man first, so we've got our baby now, and this is the longest time I've been waiting for something. I'm waiting for a baby.
Probably for my first child to be born. It seemed like forever. Well, I was told it was forever actually.
All my life, so that I could finally travel, and now I am traveling.
I'm waiting to travel.
I'm kind of still waiting.
34 years.
And it was my visa coming here to New Zealand.
I had to wait 18 months or 2 years once for some immigration papers.
The longest time I've had to wait for anything was when, well, it's two things really. When I was 4 or 5, my dad promised, I sort of went to a like a dirt bike rally in Masterton, and he promised that I would get to have a little mini motorbike, and I thought, well, that would probably mean this year, maybe for Christmas. I was really keen to get it that Christmas, and it didn't happen. And so I waited all of the years of my childhood, all of the time that I lived at home until I was 17, so 12 years or so without satisfaction. I didn't actually even get to get that dirt bike or mini motorbike. I also, when I was 8, my dad bought me a remote control plane, and for my birthday, bought that for my birthday, and we were to make it together, and he made the fuselage of the plane in the first month or so that we had it, and I assumed that I'd sort of get it by around about Christmas time that year, and I didn't get to get that either.
Possibly 30 minutes or an hour. 10 minutes, I think. I feel pretty patient about that though.
I have waited for either. 40 minutes. It felt like something so much bigger than that. It felt like I was outside of time.
I think I'm a very patient person. I really don't mind waiting, because I keep people waiting too.
Used to be really impatient, and because I was always early, I would get upset when people were late, and they would make me wait, and I felt like it was being disrespectful. And as I got older, I sort of thought about that less and less, and it didn't bother me as much.
It's quite a long drive to Genoa. It's about 6 hours, and sometimes I vomit.
And if the weather's bad, if you wait for a bus, it seems to take longer. Especially in the bus stop, and it's wet and it's cold. They take longer. Maybe it's just because the weather's bad, you want to get home quick. Maybe that's it. Could that be it?
I had to wait for a bus to Brooklyn, and it seemed forever. It was cold and they were just waiting and waiting and waiting.
I was patient and eventually I got that what I was after.
I'm not good at waiting at all, and in my adult life I think because of unfulfilled expectations from childhood, it's made me very anxious and nervous and angry about waiting a lot of the time. So I've always put very strict deadlines about when things have to happen.
From experience, the longer I've had to wait, usually the thing on the other end has been great, and I've remembered it.
I spend a lot of time waiting. I guess there's not much else that I do. I wait for things to come along. I watch. I take things in. I like to wait.
I feel like waiting isn't a bad thing. I feel like the more I wait, the more I grow, the more I get inspired, and the more I prosper.
I find it impossible to wait, and it's because to me waiting means total emptiness. I have a lot of tolerance for my impatience because in a way waiting is death.
Waiting can be joyful and can be really special as well.
I don't really like waiting. If I am waiting, I just do something else.
I don't wait because I choose to do other things.
I really enjoy waiting because I work as a postie, so I'm on my feet. If I'm not on my feet, I'm out the back gardening, so I don't really sit down a lot. And for me, it's kind of an enforced time where I have to be in one spot.
We have to wait at the airport, we have to wait for the doctor, we have to wait for a lot of things. Build the courier and all that. That is part of the life, waiting.
My business on hold for a couple of years, and I just got it restarted and it's taken about 6 months.
Yeah, well, I'm just not thinking about myself, but just being in the space and at the moment thinking about those people and the families and relatives over in Malaysia and China caught in perhaps an eternity of waiting in a space, in a hotel or in an airport, and that's all they have is waiting.
I find new ideas while I'm waiting, while counting ribbons on the floor or something. Something comes up to me, or just watching people wait. It's great.
I had to wait 5 hours at A&E with my daughter who had a fever just the other day, and there was a horror movie playing. But the good news is that she had a fever, so I wasn't paying attention, but there were lots of other children watching this movie. The fever broke with a popsicle, but we weren't allowed to leave until we'd filled out the form, so in all it took about 5 hours.
I hate waiting for automatic phone messages.
The longest I've had to wait is going through the IRD call centre, and I think I was about 20 minutes.
I can't wait to get a bigger room, and that's about it.
Can't wait for Easter.
I was waiting on God for 40 days.
More art stuff for people, disabled people would need some more funding for that because there's nothing for them, like me.
What's the longest you've ever had to wait?
Since May last year.
I'm still waiting for something and I'm not sure what, and maybe I'll never get there. I don't know. Yeah.
The time's now, and just make yourself proud.